This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
Recording has started. Hey, cats and kittens! That's me doing the trademark recording has started that you hear at the start of all of the Capes and Lunatics broadcasts. I could not be prouder. Hey, it's me, Charlie the Professor Esther. With me, as always, is the man who makes everything something special.
Phil me and Perich.
That's the guy. I love him. He's cool. He's cute. Hey, so big news today. Well, lots of big news. Okay, lots of big news. Okay. We got Daredevil dropping. We got Luke Cage getting canceled.
So now it's two, Iron Fist and Luke Cage.
I don't know what to do with that. I am beside myself.
I wonder, it could be a little of all these things, but could it be with the Disney streaming coming, they're kind of backing off the Netflix business plan?
Well, what's interesting within this whole concept is that when Iron Fist got canceled, Disney said, well, yes, nobody cared. But more importantly, Disney said, but don't worry, kids. We're bringing Iron Fist to the Disney Channel.
Oh, did they say that?
Disney streaming. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't know.
Iron Fist was moving, along with Loki and Scarlet Witch, so who knows if those shows are ever getting made. But,
Okay, I didn't know that they had made an official statement. I saw everyone saying, "Oh, maybe it'll happen." Okay.
Oh, everything I read said it would happen.
Okay.
So maybe I got bad information.
Well, I'm just wondering if since it's Iron Fist and now Luke Cage, if they're just going to do a Heroes for Hire show.
Well, that's my thinking. So actually, my thinking is that yes, Luke Cage and Iron Fist are canceled. They're going to make the Heroes for Hire because, not for nothing, Luke Cage does set it up very nicely for Heroes for Hire at the end of the second season.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got this nice thing, we've got these 2 seasons, and now we want to sort of move it into something new. And that's my hope. Now, whether or not it winds up over at Disney or that winds up over at Netflix, I don't care. And actually, this is my thing about Netflix, is Netflix is doing it very well. And I was reading something today about the trailer for Teen Titans, and that the trailer for Teen Titans did a real disservice to the Titans series. Now, I don't know if that's true because I haven't seen the Titans series yet, because I'm not going to pay $10 a month when I'm already paying for Netflix.
$7.99.
Oh, whatever. I round up, Phil. I round up, I round down. So it's like, it's $11 a month. I'll still call it 10. But $7.99, that's almost $10 a month,
Mm-hmm.
And you have to understand, everyone does that. You have to understand there's all this rounding when people are budgeting their time for these things. And you're looking at, okay, well, what's going to come out? When is it going to come out? Can I afford this? And I can afford Netflix. And Netflix has been good to me. Hulu has been good to me. DC, as a streaming service, has not been good to me.
Oh, yeah.
It's new, so they haven't had a chance to be good to me. Although I did watch Justice League Dark today, the movie, because it's on Hulu.
Okay.
Why is Felix Faust Mongolian?
I don't know, because DC can't keep their things straight. Every project they put out is different, and I mean, I can get with the idea that he's a Mongolian wizard, but then why is he called Felix Faust? Why does Batman have to be in everything?
Because he's Batman.
Well,
I mean, honestly, what does Wolverine have to be in everything, Phil? What does Spider-Man have to be in everything? Wolverine's in movies he's not even in.
I mean, DC's afraid to put out anything, especially like one of those animated things if Batman's not in it.
Unless they say F Batman.
Exactly, yeah.
Although I guess he was in it because he's standing in the doorway while Robin reads a letter, so. So, Batman was it. We got him in. He's there. He's not in the suit, but he's there. He just is very awkward. He's like Sheldon.
We'll get to Titans. We'll talk about that on Capes and Lunatics.
Okay,
I've been seeing Will saw it, yeah.
Yeah. One thing I heard was that the Hawk and Dove episode was a bad idea because it disrupts the story. Yeah, you see the only Titans you see are Robin and Raven. Yeah, they go to seek Hawk and Dove. You don't see the other Titans, so. Yeah, and, I know that Grace Randolph, who did a review of it, did say that she felt that disrupted it. She got all 3 episodes up front because she's special.
Oh.
I'm not special.
It just gave me the idea. They should have just did like a Nightwing series. I know I'm a fanboy, but they should have just did a Nightwing series and have them, go on a road trip or whatever and meet different DC characters each episode. A Titan here, a Titan there, Hawk and Dove here.
And you know what the problem with that, Phil, is?
What?
People know who the Titans are. No one knows who Nightwing is.
How dare you?
No, I'm not. I'm being honest, Philip, okay? People know who the Titans are because of Teen Titans, the cartoon series, and Teen Titans Go.
All right.
That's why it's actually this Teen Titans, not like, say, Wonder Girl and...
Well,
the Wonder Girl's showing up later, they say.
Well, let's do it like they're doing here. Start him off as Robin. People know Robin.
Yeah. But, those who remember the original Teen Titans were Aqualad and Robin and Wonder Girl. It was all the sidekicks.
Kid Flash, yeah.
Kid Flash, Wally West. Not Superboy, though, because they couldn't. Although, ironically, Wonder Girl was actually supposed to be that. That it was actually just young Wonder Girl and Wonder Baby. And then somewhere along the line, someone said, "Oh, let's just put Wonder Girl in there," because the guy who was writing it thought it was Wonder Woman's sidekick because he didn't read the comics.
Nah.
Sad. Anyway, but my point is that Netflix does good. Netflix has done really good, and I know Marvel's mad or Disney's mad that Netflix didn't sell to them, but you still gotta respect the skill,
Mm-hmm.
And they, obviously they couldn't headhunt whoever runs their shows. They couldn't get them to sell out to them because they said, no, we've got DC and we've got other people that want to do shows with us. We're a platform, Disney. We're not just going to be just your stuff,
I just I wonder if putting it on the Disney streaming thing is like, one, Disney will have 100% creative control, and two, all the money will come to Disney.
Yeah, and what it is things like that are the things that scare me. Anytime someone says 100% creative control, it does scare me. Not because, not for nothing. It's not like Fox has done great things with 100% creative control.
Yeah, I know.
It's not like DC has done great things with 100% creative control.
But remember, Disney has 100% creative control over the MCU, and I think we can agree that's like the best superhero stuff out there right now.
Yeah, that has worked nicely. Oh. Okay. I don't know if you can hear me. Yes. Well, it's a pot pie. And so the potatoes and everything are all together. So there's potatoes and meat and a shepherd's pie and a crust. My son, you know what, Tristan? If you separate them now, they'll be separate.
If you chew it, it's all going to go in the same place anyway.
Just stop. Anyway. Okay, so that's that story. Domestication.
But I mean, creative. Yeah, I know what you're saying. 100%. 100% creative control can be bad, but I think. It could be good too. You don't have to worry about 20 different people watering down your idea and.
Yeah. In general, it's sorry, I put cinnamon in the meatloaf. It called for cloves. I'm actually allergic to cloves. I put a little pumpkin pie spice and a little cinnamon. I thought it would actually be muted out by everything else, but actually it tastes fantastic in meatloaf. I'm telling you right now, put cinnamon in your meatloaf. You will never go back. An adult will love this.
This has been another episode of Cooking with Charlie.
Oh, children don't like it. Hey, that's Cooking with Diana. That was her masterstroke.
Yeah, but you actually put it together with your own two hands, right?
Well, I made it, but I was using her inspiration, to make this thing. Anyway, but hey, people love the domesticity, I assume.
Cooking with yes.
Yes, well, it doesn't taste. Deal with it. Okay. Philip has a man cave. There's no children in his man cave. This is the joy of living in the Midwest. You actually have that lavish palatial estate to live upon.
Pennsylvania's the Midwest?
Actually, yes, it is. Technically, everything east of New Jersey is in the Midwest. Or west of
everything is New York and New Jersey. No,
you're not on the seaboard.
Yeah.
So once you're past this eastern seaboard. And I had a whole conversation with someone where someone was talking about something about North Carolina. And it was about the eastern seaboard being hit by hurricanes because of gay rights and that sort of thing. And someone was saying, they should all the gays should move to North Carolina, which is where the particular preacher was saying that, and it made the point. North Carolina is on the East Coast. He says, it is? It's like, yes, everything on the eastern coast of the United States is the East Coast. It's like Florida to Maine. That's us guys. And anything like just to the left of that, that's the Midwest until you get to California, and that's the West Coast.
All right, boy, focus.
Focus.
Netflix.
It's a show with flicks that are netted. No, I just think that Netflix has got a good formula, and I think that it is a mistake, both on DC and Marvel's part, to sort of disrupt that. And I know they want to have their own thing. And honestly, my take on it is, why do you want your own thing?
Again, profit. You get 100% of the profits. That's what they're at.
That assumes a continuous pie. You see, here's the thing. So, and I'll give you a great politics example. There's always this conversation right now about the enthusiasm level of Democrats versus Republicans. Mm-hmm. And I say, Democrats are this enthusiastic about the next election. And Republicans are this enthusiastic. And they say, no, the Republicans are now as enthusiastic as the Democrats. So now it's a tight race. Except that the pie is actually smaller because the Democratic Party the Republican Party has been contracting over the last 20 years. And the Democratic Party has been expanding over the last 20 years. And it doesn't even count the independents, who are actually the largest group, who are also very enthusiastic, but nobody counts them because once you say you're independent, nobody knows how you're going to vote. So It doesn't make for a good story. But the point is that you can't take this idea that, we'll get 100% of the profit if you're now getting a smaller profit, especially if you have just cut away the thing that gave you the strength in this position. Not for nothing, Netflix didn't touch Inhumans.
True.
And that's what I'm going to say about that.
I know, but...
So as far as Disney's streaming services, I'm going to say Netflix didn't touch Inhumans. They had Buck.
Yeah, Scott Buck touched Inhumans, and he also touched Iron Fist Season 1, and maybe Marvel's like, we don't want to...
Which was better? Gun to your head right now. You have to watch one series, Phil, now.
Iron Fist, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Because what happened in Inhumans? Who had 100% creative control?
Buck.
Well, Disney.
Did they? Yeah.
Yeah, it was Disney ABC. That's all Disney.
Yeah.
The whole platform was owned by them. And so, as far as that 100% creative control, I think that maybe sometimes you want a little diversity in that control. You want someone else in there who's going to say, I'm from a different perspective.
Yeah, but you kind of get that. You kind of have diversity in Disney too, because you have the Russo brothers, because you have like Infinity War and Civil War and Winter Soldier, which were all good, and what's his face who did Thor Ragnarok? I'm sorry, I can't pronounce his name.
Yeah, that's fine. Korg.
Yeah, Korg. Yeah, and
Korg's great. Korg's a fantastic director.
And that movie,
I don't know why his Revolutions don't do bad.
And that movie was great, but and then you love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That was good, but Inhumans, So that's what I'm saying. You have so many different properties. You're gonna get a mix of, showrunners, directors.
Yes, and what I'll say is, my feeling is that the closer they are to the MCU, the better they are.
Yeah.
And what my biggest fear is that they're going to try and pass off Marvel Television that's not associated with the MCU. Because there is that Marvel Studio, because there's still a Marvel Studios. Because, Avi Arad, the man who gave us Corman's Fantastic Four, and then didn't give us Corman's Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm.
That was his original sin.
Mm-hmm.
Avi Arad, fight you. Except he's probably kicked my butt because he was in the Israeli military. Because everybody in Israel was in the Israeli military. And I was never in the military, so my butt would probably be kicked. But I would take those punches like so much Matt Murdock just to prove my point.
But that's the thing, though, is that, the thing with Netflix, I wonder how, the deal works money-wise and everything with them, because it's you get a Daredevil Season 3, which is awesome. I can't stop watching it. I had to pull myself away to do this podcast. But, but also, when you get, a Iron Fist that maybe doesn't do the numbers, maybe Netflix is maybe you need to kick a little more money our way to, put this on here.
And that's a possibility. It's possible that Netflix is saying, well, this isn't what we want. I mean, there's also the other flip side to it, which is that Marvel is actually paying Netflix to cancel shows now.
Maybe.
Like I said, here's the thing. When someone said that Iron Fist was canceled, I was like, really? Iron Fist? Let's start a campaign. There was no idea. And I enjoy Iron Fist. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy Iron Fist. I've not watched the whole season yet because it has not gripped me. But I do enjoy what I've seen. Iron Fist is a show that I watch because I podcast, and I'm sure other people watch it because they're Iron Fist fans. Mm. Sometimes I feel a little sad for Agent Phil Coulson. Maybe he's not so sad they didn't let him be in this series now. But no, I mean, I like it, but the fact of the matter is that it's not Daredevil, it wasn't Luke Cage. Mm. And so when it got canceled, no one was crying for Argentina. But when Luke Cage got canceled, that's a cultural touchstone. That was something so that makes me think there's something going on. It's sort of like when they fired Gunn, who's now over at DC, because they don't care if you're a pedophile. Yay! I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. They said, well, we don't care.
Whatever it takes to win.
I don't believe Gunn is a pedophile. I'll say that right now.
He just has bad jokes.
He has. Well, I mean, honestly, I think that was nonsense. I don't know what the whole mess was, but honestly, like I said, I don't think Disney would fire someone unless there was more of a cause.
Yeah.
But then again, it's, sometimes we have that idea that, corporations are logical and intelligent creatures that operate on a profit motive. Like the government. That's
the funniest thing you've ever said.
Isn't going to make a
corporations and governments
stupid choice because some idiot's in charge.
Charlie Esser, there's only one logic corporations and governments speak these days. You know what it is, right?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. If it was money, then why would you fire Tim Gunn? He's very profitable. Or not James Gunn. They just got confused. Someone said, wait a minute, why do we have Tim Gunn directing these movies? Let's get that guy who used to work for Troma. He's so much better. Just find a reason to fire that guy who's directing those movies. I wanted the guy. Oh, it was all a wacky misunderstanding. That explains everything.
But I mean, yeah, like you were saying, I mean, Iron Fist. I mean, some people might have been upset, but no one was surprised Iron Fist got canceled. Yeah. But Luke Cage, that had to have been doing numbers because what was it, the first season? I can't remember if it was the first or second season. Didn't it crash Netflix?
It did great. It's been doing great. It is doing great, and honestly, the second season was really very well done. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I had less concerns about it than I did about Daredevil. Mm-hmm. Ben, are you gonna eat that? Okay, give me that. That's fine. Thank you. That's fine. I didn't have dinner yet. So. Were those things inside onions? Yes, there were onions and potatoes inside. You need some fiber and vegetables. Anyway, I hate to waste food. Anyway, so as we're approaching all this, with regard to profit, James Gunn was profitable. There's no denying that. Mm-hmm. The decision to cancel him comes out of left field. And that's why people were a little like, what? Huh? Why? So then we have to ask the question, well, why? And there has not been another scandal, which is disturbing, because you would think there'd be more scandals if this was really a scandalous reason to fire the guy. But, not for nothing. Or maybe he just really got someone annoyed at Disney.
Maybe.
That's always another thing, is that there could be some personal politics involved. And like I said, he did two. The second was okay. I mean, I enjoyed it, but I don't think it did the numbers of the first. And maybe they just said that was enough. And what I will always say as far as James Gunn go is that the fact that he walked away, so that he kind of just wanted out.
Maybe.
And I kind of think that maybe it was just a thing where everybody just, for whatever reason,
just bad blood for some reason on everyone's part. So they're like, okay, we found an excuse to fire you. Okay, good, I'm going.
Well, if you remember, that's basically what Joss Whedon said too. I mean, he didn't have a scandal to end it, but he was just like, yeah, no, I'm done.
Yeah.
And Marvel was like, yeah, you're done. And, I think that basically, it's like you get these great creatives, they do a great job, and then it's like everyone just dealing with creatives is hard, and you need a new creative because basically once you have one hit film, the power dynamic shifts, and then I think the studio wants to sort of say, hey, remember who you work for, and then maybe they're like, and maybe that's why the Russo brothers are doing so well because it's not one guy.
Maybe.
So and they're brothers. So whenever Disney says, hey, that other Russo's an idiot, the other Russo says, yes, he is. And then they gang up on him. So that basically Disney gets to steer. You can steer the two directors better than you can one. So maybe that's the Russos, and maybe that winds up being the Russo's secret trick also because then they don't have to, Tristan, bring it here. If you're done, bring it here. Bring me your leftovers. If the Russos are basically, they good. If the Russos are basically being both played by Marvel, and then playing Marvel by saying, you know what, you deal with Marvel today. This is my day off. I don't know the two Russos, whether I think is it Joe and Frank or Joe and Bill.
Joe and
I know one's a Joe.
Yeah, it's Joe and somebody else. I can't remember.
I'm going to say Joe and Frank because it reminds me of Joe Frank, who's one of my favorite writers.
They're going to say the Hardy Boys.
Oh, is that who the Hardy Boys were?
Is it? I think it was Joe.
I don't know. I've only read one Hardy Boys book to my kids.
Oh, I've read a ton of them as a kid. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it's been many years. I believe it was Joe and Frank.
Okay. Well, anyway. So, let's say for the two Russos, Russo 1 and Russo 2, I think that maybe that's also their strategy, is that it's easier to deal with the studio when it's not one guy against the studio.
Yeah.
But they can trade off. And then they can also team up against the studio when they really feel like it. And that is why I think they've come to dominate it. And I think that's why they actually produce the best Marvel films. So, yay, the Russo brothers. I can't wait for Avengers 4. Speaking of Avengers 4, of course, burning up the internet was the fact that Mark Ruffalo got fired. And apparently what it was basically a whole thing to drum up interest, to watch the show, and then they deleted everything he said. They bleep it out as he's doing his whole over-the-top spoiler stick, and then they tell everyone to go register to vote. So, yay, voting! And but we hadn't mentioned it, and it was that whole thing, and I actually didn't even know what it was all about. I just thought someone was like, "Oh, they fired him," and then I found out like a bunch of fans got upset. They were like, "Spoiler, you're fired, so you should, turn the screws." And it's like,
so it was like a big joke, right? Because I hadn't heard anything. It was like a big joke or whatever.
It was a big joke, but it was in my Facebook feed. So
I know that. Then I get a garbled message. Hey, did you hear about Paul Ruffalo? I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. So the Russos fired him, and they made and basically then they trolled the people. It's funny. It's funny when you're in on the joke because people just are. So Daredevil season 1, what'd you think?
I'm 4 episodes in. Like I said, I can't get enough.
Okay. Poindexter's that's his actual name, Poindexter. Yeah, he's Bullseye. Okay.
Oh yeah.
That's established.
Yeah. That's his name in the books. Yeah.
Oh, that is his name in the book too? His name is Poindexter?
I forget. Yeah, it's Poindexter. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It is a real name. It's just
it stood out to me when they said Poindexter. I was like, that's Bullseye. Because I knew they said they cast him, and then the name, that's him.
Yeah, and he's cool. And I knew, because I've only gotten to episode 3, so spoilers, I knew that's what him having dinner with Julie was going to be. I knew, that's who Julie is.
What?
I thought you watched these. In episode 3, when he goes to the staff shrink, and they say, who do you talk to? And he basically tells him.
Oh, yeah.
He's the bartender, a professional listener, probably makes more than you do as a, on my day, and she listens, and basically he's saying how he decompresses with this woman every night, which is a lie. It's a lie, because then we see him, and he doesn't. I was waiting for him to start talking about his day, and he doesn't.
Yeah, well, he
just eats the pizza.
He's like he's a sociopath or whatever.
Well, clearly, yeah. He is a very bad sociopath. He's got sociopathology bad. And I knew that it was exactly what they were going for with that. As soon as he started talking about Julie, I was like, oh, yeah. And, it really surprised me, honestly, that they sent, I'm blanking on the guy's name. I want to say it was Nadan, but wasn't Nadine the woman from Punisher?
Punisher. It was something close to that, yeah, because I was like, that sounds similar, but yeah, it was...
maybe she was Nadani and he was Nadine. And
something like that, yeah.
Yeah, but they're both Indian American, or was she Pakistani American? I forget. Anyway, but there's a whole thing about how basically he's gone into debt paying for his sister's chemo, and they make the point that he can't get promoted because of how deep in debt he is, because that means he's a compromise risk.
Wait, we only got like around 10-15 minutes left, so why don't we hold this for Capes and Lunatics? Did you want to talk comics before we... Oh,
I thought we'd talk comics and Capes and Lunatics.
Oh, I mean, we can do both. I didn't know which way you wanted to go.
You know what? Philip, you're the captain of this network. So basically, what my point is why would you send a guy who's heavily financially compromised to talk to the mob boss?
Well, that's what his boss was telling him, wasn't it? And he begged and pleaded to...
No.
Yeah, that's right.
Was the first one when it was like, oh, it's your turn to go talk to Fisk.
Yeah, well, because they thought it was crap duty, because they thought, oh, Fisk isn't going to talk to anybody, so let's just send him out on this pointless errand that's not going to yield any results.
I don't know. It just seemed to be like, really? I don't know.
I'm telling you, they just figured Fisk isn't going to talk, so it's basically him driving out there for nothing and coming back. Yeah,
and I guess that's that. And I get that was maybe the idea. It just seemed like after the other conversation, it didn't make a lot of sense. That, oh, by the way, why don't you go talk to this billionaire? Because not for nothing, because that's the whole point, is that he could be compromised. And it's like, maybe he'll get you out, like, oh, well, and then he does. And it's like, it seemed kind of weird to me, but I guess, convenient plot point is convenient as little as help, I would say. If you do want to talk comics, what do you want to talk, Thor or Captain Marvel? I did get both of them in. I gotta say, though...
What?
Yeah, I'm sorry. What I was gonna say about Captain Marvel, how does her mom go her whole life after she gets superpowers and never think this is a conversation to have?
It was
when she gets involved with Captain Marvel, and it's like, no. I don't want to get involved in my daughter's life. She's a free spirit.
Well, I mean, of course, I think it's retconning, because I think this is going to probably get brought up in the movie,
Obviously, it's retcon, Phil.
Yeah, but
Obviously,
I mean...
it's retcon.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like she was saying, when her father wouldn't pay for Carol's college, she basically ran away, and I don't think she had contact with her family for many years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if it's just the mother not wanting to track her, not bothering to track her down, or not being able to track her down for a while. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know.
And I mean, after the Kree-Skrull War, I mean, Kree kind of became like a dirty word. Well, I mean, except for Marvel, the Kree was like dirty word.
I don't know. I'm a little... It was the one part of the story that didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say on that. Otherwise, it was a neat story, my mom was secretly a super being, too. I
mean, unless you wanted Carol to think, like, hey, you did this, everything you have, you got on your own, you didn't start with anything, but it turns out she started out, spoiler alert, with Kree genes, or at least half Kree.
I don't know. I think it was I don't think it was a good retcon. I think this is one of those retcons that's maybe not that good.
Well, I think it's mandated because of the movie, probably.
Why? Oh, I guess maybe someone wrote it in the movie? Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I bet you she's going to be like half Kree in the movie, yeah.
I mean, in that case, I guess it makes some sense, but I don't know. It's I don't know if it's a good idea there, too. I know that the writer was saying she felt the original story was too much like Green Lantern, which I didn't think, and now I think she's actually made it more like Green Lantern in a weird way, so...
Unless they just wanted her to be like her own woman, because who knows how they're going to use Marvel in the movie, and it's just like,
yeah,
we don't want her origin to be the magic wishing machine and getting her powers from this man and all this. And
yeah, I guess so. I don't know. It seemed like a weird retcon, and I also don't know why they dressed the warrior woman like a nun. That seems weird to me. Like she's like this medieval nun knight.
It's an alien culture, man.
But it's not like they've established that that's how they dress. Like they will dress like nuns from the medieval times.
But so I'm pretty sure that they did this because what was I going to say? Oh, that, instead of her getting her power from the magic wishing machine and this man, even though he's an alien, the white man, she basically had the potential inside her from day one,
Okay, I mean, I guess I can see that, but...
I'm just assuming. I've heard nothing, so...
Yeah, so we'll have to see. We'll see when the movie comes out next year. And then we get Avengers 4, Electric Boogaloo, which Mark Ruffalo did not spoil.
Mark Ruffalo, yeah.
Mark Ruffalo, yes. Okay, so that's our show for tonight. Philip, how can people find you?
If you want to get a hold of me, especially comic creators, actors, anyone for interviews, email me, nightwingpdp@gmail.com, and on Twitter, I am @nightwingpdp.
Okay, if you'd like to write to me in that old-fashioned email way, the way our miles impossible instead, write to me at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. And, of course, follow me on the Twitter, live tweet Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is coming back in Gotham, and other things as well, @Charlie Esser. That's CharlieEsser. That's for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality.
Bing! There we go. That's Maz. Listen to us on the Cage Cast. Okay, yeah, that's our show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for connecting with us. Please super connect with us once again. And stay tuned for Super Connectivity on your local YouTube station. Oh, sorry. Capes and Lunatics.
Lilith is not here!
Yes. The other one on the same channel, just wait for the bell. And click it if you're there. Good night.
Good night.
And have a pleasant tomorrow.
Good night.
Okay, goodbye. That's what they all used to say when you left was goodbye. You've got mail. Goodbye.
Have a good night.